Hey guys, Tony here, back once more to talk about an album that I kind of like. I feel like I could say a lot. I could probably ramble on and on about this album, but I'm going to really try and keep this brief. Um, an interesting album for sure, and that is the Mothers of Invention, Freak Out. So, their debut album from 1966 on Verve Records. Yeah, their debut, and it's a double LP, which is just crazy, really, when you think about it. This much music, I mean, over an hour of music as their debut. Yeah, just an interesting album for sure, and one that I don't think you could listen to this album, once or twice and really sort of give it a fair critique. I just don't think it's really possible. To me, this is an album you kind of got to delve into. But not only that, I feel you should know Zappa's work more than just one album. Let's say, so let's say you were new to Zappa and this is the first thing you heard, and you listened to it, didn't like it, just dismissed him. Um, I think you should know more of his work. I'm not going to say, it's been said that Zappa's work is part of a whole, big thing that's all connected, and it is, but I don't want to say you should know all of Zappa's work, because Zappa, one of those artists that is not for everybody, and I understand that. I personally was not a Zappa fan for a long time. My first exposure to Zappa was strictly commercial, and that was like, with the exception of a few songs, I didn't like it, but there were a few things that I just thought were wow, just one of those things. I would say it wasn't until these like past couple years that I really started getting into Zappa, and it's just one of those things. Now I'm absolutely infatuated with him, but after Apostrophe, he kind of loses me. Not that I've heard everything, and there are things after that in his sort of later period that I think are still absolutely brilliant. For the most part, I definitely prefer his Verve and Bizarre releases, the Mothers of Invention stuff mostly. But yeah, something about, I don't know, after Apostrophe, he starts incorporating so much more like toilet humor, adolescent sort of humor. I don't know, one of those things that just I don't get. But when he's on, he's the man. He's brilliant. But anyway, back to the album. 1966, and I like to think about what the hell people must have thought when this came out and they heard it. They're discovered by Tom Wilson, of course, of sort of producer, Dylan fame, and a lot of other '60s groups. He discovered them basically. They started developing a reputation on playing in L.A. and the Sunset Strip, and he only heard one song by them, "Trouble Every Day," and offered them a deal, I think, mistaking them for like this, white blues rock band, like a Paul Butterfield thing. That stuff was popular at the time, and I think they got him into the studio and quickly realized that that's not what this is. So again, this album is just, I would say there's something on it for everybody. It's a mix of a lot of different things. And it's also called a concept album, I should mention that. And there's always question as to what's the concept. And I think it's pretty apparent when you listen to it, or maybe if you listen to it a few times, get to know the album, it becomes apparent that it's Zappa sort of poking fun at pop music and about popular culture and American culture. And a lot of themes are started here that are expressed much more later on, let's say, with "We're Only In It For The Money," which is a lot of sort of social commentary mixed with this sort of satire. But yeah, I mean, he sort of does, like, you could say, parody of pop songs. But really, when you know these songs, they're brilliant pop songs. And it's almost like he doesn't, it's obvious he's not taking it too seriously, or he's doing it in a way that's, I don't know, that wants to come off like he's not taking it too seriously. If you know Zappa, he's just a brilliant musician. Classically, he did classical music, jazz. So maybe to him, writing a song like "Wowie-Zowie" or anything on here I mean, Wowie-Zowie is pretty much a perfect pop song, you know, but it's just he does it in a way that, you know, I ain't got no heart, motherly love, even that, go cry on somebody else's shoulder. So a mixture of pop music, straight sort of R&B, blues rock, garage rocks, you know, maybe a touch psych rock, all sort of blended together. And that's like the first record. And the second record, it starts to get more psychedelic, more avant-garde. And there's only like 3 songs on the second record, which is Help I'm a Rock. Where's the track list? Trouble Every Day, which is like a folk rock sort of Dylan-esque, Barry Maguire sort of track, which is brilliant, and that's the track that Tom Wilson first heard them performing. Help I'm a Rock, which is great, and then the Return of the Son of Monster Magnet, which is one of my favorite things on this record. It's sort of a experimental music concrete sort of thing, you know. But what an album. I mean, I'm really going off here, and like I said, there's a lot I would love to say. They were a quintet at this time. Zappa, of course, Ray Collins, Jim Black, Roy Estrada, and Elliot Ingberger. So, as we know, the Mothers lineup would shift almost constantly. I mean, right after this, Absolutely Free, there were changes. But, like I said, a little bit of everything on here for a little bit of, you know, something for everybody, let's say. Fantastic record. One I love, have been listening to a lot lately. I also have the CD, I've been playing it in my car a lot. And this is an original copy, a beautiful, beautiful original copy, and one that I got for like 17 bucks, not too long ago. It is an original. It does have the advertisement, I believe, what is it, for the Freak Map? Where is it? Right here. Plan on visiting LA this summer. Send for your copy of a special map, Freak Out Hotspots, which is right here, there. So it's sort of an indicator that it's a first press on Verve, just a near mint copy, really. But yeah, the Mothers of Invention, Frank Zappa. I definitely didn't say everything I wanted to, but, you know, great album. So yeah, I think I said this before, but I'll be back soon. I have a vinyl update that is just mind-blowing. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but some great stuff. Anyway, still even longer than I wanted it to be. Leave me comments. Hope you enjoyed.